I would work to protect your safety, your enjoyment, and your investment in this community, and that remains my North Star. Every decision I make it somehow involves all three of those things. How would this affect those three things? And I'm talking about short-term and long-term. That's how I make my decisions. I would tell you that I've spoken with every one of the chairs here. They've all agreed, let's collaborate, let's work together, let's make Braintree the best it can be. They've all agreed that they have committees that are full of community members, and we'll work together. That helps communication get out to the community, and it should hopefully avoid off-cycle motions. I don't really care for off-cycle motions. I think motions should be voted in front of the community, and I think that the discussion needs to be heard by the community. Saying that, I will say that just before I started, there was a survey, and the community said the two most important things are the roads and the lakes, and I hope that to make that the focus. There's 100, I have a list of things already in 1 month that I feel like a fireman with really big shoes, but I've been busy the last month, but I'm going to tell you that the focus is the lakes and the roads, because without them, we don't have much to offer to people. I would also say a couple of things. Braintree doesn't monitor a social media page. I'm not on social media, so I'm not the one to speak about this. I don't do any social media, but I know that Braintree doesn't monitor a social media page, and there are lots of comments and criticisms and other things made on social media, and I would tell you that if you want to know something, it's real simple. Email board@raintreepoa.net. Board@raintreepoa.net. Don't call one of us. Don't email one. Just send it to board@raintreepoa.net. And it kind of helps us help each other and not give conflicting answers, etc. Okay? So that's hopefully the primary route of communication. Lastly, I'll say I have two pleas, if you will, two wishes. Number one is, please stop criticizing this community on social media. It sabotages everyone. It just makes us look bad. When I tell people I live in Braintree, they go, "Oh, you live in that mess?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a wonderful place, you know." And it is a wonderful place. But I don't think any one of us would open a business and then rent the billboard behind it and say, the products are horrible and the service sucks here, you know. So please, let's try and stop. Let's tone some of that back. It would really benefit everyone. Let's not sabotage our own community. The other thing I would ask you is, if you choose to run for a board position, and I applaud anyone who takes on this job. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you certainly, it's like being a customer service rep. You hear about the things you do wrong, but not enough about the things you do right. But I would ask you that if you decide to run for a board position, commit to being here for the entire three-year term. Since I've been here, we've had 6 board members turn over, 6 board members turn over, then 5 board members turn over, then 4 board members turn over. You guys, we can't move the community forward if we just go back and forth. So I applaud anyone who's willing to make the investment in being a board member, but please don't do it unless you're willing to do it for 3 solid years. And if you don't like if you can't be questioned or challenged without being offended, you probably, you won't thrive in this position. Somebody's going to challenge or question you, and sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes it gets a little overboard. And I would tell you to think about those things before you run for the board. I wish more people would step up and run for the board, but think long and hard about the things I just said before you choose to do so. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. Let's carry on. The next person I would like to introduce to you is Mindy Phillips. Mindy Phillips is our CPM manager. I think she has a few words. She's been with us for a year and whatever, almost a year. And
yes.
she's
The reason I'm here tonight is that Kent went behind my back to my boss. He didn't really go behind my back, he told me he was going to, but anyway, so CPM made a concession to be able to let me come to your board meetings, even though they're later than we usually do. So I'm Mindy, I'm here in the POA office 1 day a week. Usually it's Thursdays, but it changes. If Haley's gonna be off 1 day, I'll come in that day instead. Today I came in because we had the board meeting tonight. But I've been with CPM for 4 years, and before that, I had about 15 years with other companies just doing community management. I don't manage apartments or anything else, just condos and HOA type communities. We do your accounting, you know, in the back office. We take care of your accounting and processing your fees, taking care of customer service, working with Haley, trying to get some better processes and documentation and things long term so that we can be more consistent. We do not make any decisions for your association. Your board makes all those decisions and then directs me, you know, sign this contract, we're doing this, we're doing that. Of course, you do have your governing documents and policies that the board have already implemented in past years, and some of those I know are being fine-tuned now by the Rules Committee, but we do follow those rules and policies unless, you know, the board directs us differently. So if there's, and then that's all I have to say, and then if the meeting's over, maybe at the end, I sometimes watch these videos and I hear questions that the board's not sure about, and I think, oh, I could have answered that. So hopefully it'll be good. I'll be able to answer a few questions tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mindy. If she gets up and leaves, it's because she has a long commute. You have to get home even after this meeting, so it's not because anything else. So I'd like to start the meeting with approval of the board meeting minutes from September 21st as distributed.
I make a motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Mike and Renee. Any discussion? Hearing none. Let's vote. Those in favor, please raise your other hand.
Aye.
Okay, those opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Or seeing none. I'd also like to approve the closed board meeting minutes of September 21st, 2025. Approval. Jenny, and a second.
Second.
Jim McClung. Any discussion? All right, then those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? None. Thank you. While we're approving motions, I'd like to approve the off-cycle motion for the salt purchase. Actually, I don't need to vote again. I'm just going to say that there was a motion for 150 tons, up to 150 tons of salt ordered, and it was approved 5 days and 0 days. And so that needs to be recorded in the minutes. Thank you. And then we'll start with the new board member selection. We had one of our board members resign, and so we need to replace that person as soon as possible. We certainly could use the hand. We'll do it by closed ballot. I will tell you that one of the other things I've been doing over the last 1 month is studying these 2 books extensively. I'm certainly not, let me finish before you I'm certainly not an expert, but
any attempt is good.
What?
Any attempt is good.
Well, it'll be an attempt at best, thank you. But what I will tell you is that when you have a closed ballot, a written ballot like this, the president does vote. The president normally doesn't vote for most things. You notice I didn't vote for the motions. It's a tiebreaker, but according to Robert's Rules of Order, and the last 2 years that I was on the board, we did the same thing. If you remember, Jim voted last year and Dave voted the year before, and so I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So I will vote, but I will not be able to cast a tie breaking vote if I vote initially. I can't find anything in there about this specific instance if one person doesn't win outright, but I would suggest, and what most of there it says is have, just like political office, you'd have a runoff. If there's one candidate that gets less votes than anyone else, that person is removed from the voting, and then the other two people are voted. If they all three get the same number of votes, then we vote again. I would say we're not gonna keep doing this all night. If we can't we can't just make a decision pretty quickly, we'll table this and work it out and have another vote sometime soon. But again, I prefer not to do off-cycle motions unless they're urgent or emergent, and this one we may consider to be that. You guys all three saw the resumes? What?
Yeah, I sent the resumes out last week and I don't see them here. I don't see them yet. So hopefully everybody read them from the email.
Hope everybody saw them on their email.
Anybody else need a pen?
So just, if you just write your name on it,
So
fold it and pass it on.
The three candidates are John Willett, Desiree Rodriguez, and Tammy Tyndall. You can just tell us who it is, you don't need to say the votes. And then
Okay. There weren't any bad choices, and I certainly appreciate everybody who ran, but John Willett is our new board member.
Yes, thank you for anyone who ran, and please, do consider contributing by, and I think becoming active on a committee, considering a board position are all great things for community members to do. I appreciate everything that anyone does for the community. How about a treasurer's report?
All right.
Ryan, you gonna shine?
I hope so. I wrote it out, so I wouldn't forget. So October 1st marks 1 year from transition from city and village to CPM. And since being elected, I've been working with Mindy and Haley from CPM to get up to speed on the financials, and I've gotten some help from John Willett, who was board treasurer prior to last year. I believe in order for CPM to be successful, it will require close collaboration between the board and CPM, and I plan to continue to work closely with them to achieve the best results for the community. It is imperative that everyone on the board adhere to current purchasing procedures, submitting necessary bids for large projects to the whole board for review and approval in an open board meeting prior to starting any work or contracting with any vendors. Proper receipts are required in order to get reimbursement. According to my review of this last year, these procedures were not always followed. We cannot continue this way of doing business, and we will be making sure these procedures will be followed going forward. Going to the cash assets from the balance sheet, the operating funds, Raintree Midwest Bank is $200,009. The CAB operating account is $666,023. The CAB debit card has a balance of $5,298. Petty cash $571, which is a total operating balance of $871,901. $871,901. Okay, I don't know what I said. The Midwest bank accounts will be closed this month and funds will be transferred to the CAB accounts, which were opened with our transfer to CPM. The special assessment fund for security has a balance of $15,946. The lake dredging fund has a balance of $31,868. The total ICF funds is $337,423. Those are in CDs. The total bank accounts are $1,725,324. Calculations have been made from last year's assessment income to add to the ICF fund per the covenants, and the dredging fund, which was created in 2021 by board resolution. For July 2024 through May 2025, we collected $703,094 in paid assessments. Transfer funds to the ICF fund is 5% of the previous year's assessment and will be $35,155. Transfer funds to the lake dredging fund will be $16,569, which is 2% of the previous year's assessments, plus $2,507, which was deferred the first year of the resolution over the next 5 years, and this is the fourth year for this additional payment. Monthly revenue collected in assessments was $22,343, and other income was $10,206. Monthly bills paid were $166,881. And then noted from the cash disbursement report, the large ones are CPM $12,166, 1L lawn care, which is $9,740, road repairs for $90,790, and the postage and newsletter for the election was $5,179. We have 589 delinquent homeowner accounts, and accounts receivable stands at $486,679. And that is it.
All right. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, a couple of things. I know, do we currently only have one debit card? We need to, all of our charges need to go not on personal cards, but our debit card. If we need to get another one, or if we need to put them here in the office and check them out, or whatever, I'm gonna talk to you about that, Minnie, but we need to have them all on one card, on our work card. Okay, we'll go from there. Thank you. What is correspondence before?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Show of hands. Those opposed? None? Motion carries. Thank you. I'm not sure about.
The correspondence report is something we used to have, and I'll talk with Mindy and see if we need this on the agenda at all.
Okay. Okay. All right, then let's move on to standing committee reports. I'll start with the administration and legal. We don't have any current legal issues going on that I'm aware of. We need to figure out what we're gonna do with collections. We have a ton of money in collections. I feel like we've just been kicking the can down the road. What do we need to do about it? I mean, do we write it off? Do we get aggressive with it? It costs us money to get aggressive and it may not pay back. We just need to figure that out going forward. That's not a discussion for tonight. I just wanna know that it's on the agenda. The other thing I would tell you is we're gonna meet with our attorney and find out, as all of you know, and as Mr. McClung said at one of the last meetings, our covenants and our bylaws and our rules for ACC and our rules for the community are not consistent. In fact, they often conflict one another. And our covenants and bylaws were written in 1980 something, and they've been amended and written. The rules sometimes don't agree, so I think we really need to seriously consider having our covenants and bylaws as well as our rules. We can do our rules ourselves, covenants and bylaws rewritten, as Jim was saying, he agreed. However, I don't know that I want to spend that money and then have the community say, it would take a community vote to adopt them. So the last thing we want to do is spend thousands of dollars to have our covenants and bylaws rewritten, only to have a ballot item and people voted down. So we're gonna meet with our attorney and ask if there's a way we can put a ballot item on to maybe pre-approve covenants and amendments that without substantive change. I don't know if that's even a possibility. I don't know what else to do, but I don't want to, we desperately need to do it, but I don't know if we want to spend the money, invest the money to do it, if it's not going to be accepted by the community. You know, it's a catch-22. Okay, so that's where we are. Yeah. I don't know of any other legal issues. I don't know of any, fortunately, right now. Okay, ACC.
Okay, the ACC meeting was on October 2nd on 2025 here at the office. We had 9 of the 10 members were present. There were plans submitted and approved by the committee for 2 new homes and 2 miscellaneous construction projects. To date, there are 21 homes under construction and 40 miscellaneous construction projects. I'm glad to see that tonight's agenda, there will be discussion regarding covenant changes voted by the membership in September. There are a few items of interest to the ACC committee that were not completely clarified in the new covenant changes. So we'll get to that after a while, I hope. With so many new homes and miscellaneous projects underway, the committee would welcome any new members who would be interested in volunteering their time to the community. The next meeting of the ACC will be November 4th at 6 p.m. here at the office.
That's it. Communications?
For communications, hopefully you all noticed we did our first Range Tree Roundup on October 1st, and we will continue to have those on the first day of every month. And I'm certainly open to ideas and questions on anything that we can answer in the newsletter and get it off your mind. Little things that might be bothering you about how to or why. So if you want to send those, send them to board.
Board at RainTreePOA.net, please.
And I promise that I will address the questions that I get.
Lakes and beaches, thank you. Lakes and beaches.
We're having a meeting Thursday, the 23rd. Some of the topics on the agenda, I've been in contact with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Recently sent a sunshine law request in there to get some information about Otter and Spring Lakes. I'm waiting for that to come in. We have a new board or a new committee with 12 members on it, and they're all going to be here on Thursday. So anybody else that's interested in coming, I suggest that you come because it's really important. Some of the topics will be the inspection reports that we have. We'll go over those. The samples, the lake samples that were taken in 2024 for the lakes. We'll go over that. We also have a gentleman that worked for the St. Louis Zoo, or used to work for the St. Louis Zoo, and he does all their water testing, and he's willing to come and kind of disclose and discuss some of the algae and some of the issues that we have in the lake to try and help us uncover what the problem is. We're in the infant stages, but we have a good group of guys coming on that I think that we can get some kind of wrangle on it. It was interesting. I talked to Dave Cox, and he made a pretty good statement about it. He's on a committee, and he said that, you know, this is a 5 or 6 prong approach. So this isn't something where you throw chemicals in the lake that's gonna make it better. I understand everybody's upset and everybody wants to swim and do that. We have a multifaceted lake, recreational, swimming, fishing, and, you know, it's up to us to get that to where it needs to be. So, we're gonna have a meeting on Thursday, and because it kind of follows right behind this, I'm gonna see if we can't get another meeting before our next board meeting to get it kind of out in front. So that we're not kind of behind the board meetings and people are up to date on what's going on. Some of the other, interesting things, since everybody's here, is the fertilizer and different things, leaves this fall, blowing them into the lake when we have storms like we had last night, and they're on the docks and stuff, has gotta stop. I mean, if you see it, you gotta ask your neighbors not to do it, because it's just destroying the lakes. And I think we were gonna put something out in the monthly newsletter, regarding leaves being thrown on property that nobody's living on across the street, because it's getting washed right down into the lake. So that's kind of important. I made a suggestion we can talk about later about maybe looking into getting a company that would remove leaves at the end of the year for like a month or so. Where you get the leaves, you bag them up, and they just come by with a
on the
truck.
road, okay.
Right. And also maybe in the spring. We want to also look into the future states of the lakes, you know, and we're going to discuss the placement of the buoys. I know it's a big topic. I've been on the phone with the Missouri Water Control regarding the location of the buoys. The Missouri Water Control will only come into our lakes for 2 reasons. One, if there's a grounding, and the other, if somebody creates a wake and somebody's boat's in their boathouse and it's not up, and it causes any damage to the boat, they'll write a report for that, like an auto accident report. Other than that, what I suggest we do, and we're gonna discuss it in the meeting, is we adopt the Missouri Water Patrol's rules of the water, and they're willing to get with us as far as the buoy placement. The problem you have is there's a lot of people that are on our lakes that don't live here. So they don't really get it. They're flying down the lake and they see the no wake and they come right up to it. When they're pulling tubes and stuff, I saw it twice this year that the 2 little girls almost got killed. They flung them around and they were within 6 feet of the ladder on 2 different occasions. So it's important that we make sure the buoy placement's the right way. And if they break off for some reason, we're going to make sure that they're located through GPS so they're put in the exact same spot every time. So that's something else we'll discuss. We'll discuss the food trucks, the permits, insurance for the food trucks, and also the signage on the beach. The signage down there is conflicting. There's a couple things on the sign that it's like right in the middle, it tells you not to do one thing, at the bottom it tells you you can. So it's just, I think it's like what Kent was saying, we have so many different rules and stuff. I think people mean the right thing, but we don't pay attention, and I think we just need to get that straightened out. That's what the
All right.
rules are.
Thank you. All right, maintenance.
Okay. Well, we're moving forward. As you heard, we ordered 150 tons of salt, and it's gonna be on order for the winter. We've got 1 truck in the shop getting this tuned up and ready to go. We got our wood chipper back today, so we'll be out on that. And we've got 3 part-time maintenance guys, so if you have any kind of trimming work that's out in the road, common ground, turn in a work request, and CPM will take care of it and forward it to us. And this winter, when we're gonna get a snow route going a little different than we had last year, we're gonna still have to talk about it, but it's important to keep the cars off the road when it's snowing. Hopefully we don't have that issue, but it's there.
So we're ready to go as far as
Yes, we're ready to
snow,
go.
plows and.
Everything, it's not hooked up yet, but everything.
But they're ready.
They're ready.
Salt and.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other equipment we need or need?
Nope. Maybe one thing that would be good, and Tom could find, we need lights. It's so hard to see on those trucks when they're plowing. And because our lights are really not overly good, they just got the snow plow lights, and then the truck lights just hit in the back, and you go off somewhere, it's really hard to see. And I think it would be good money to spend maybe for
Okay.
lights to help.
Pretty much how it goes.
Light.
They got some new fluorescent lights out there.
Okay, let's look into
It
that.
doesn't draw on the top.
Can you look maybe come up with a proposal before next meeting?
Meeting, I will.
There shouldn't be any snow, hopefully.
No, we won't.
Any snow before the next meeting.
I'll do that. Other than that, we're
That'd be great, thank
set
you.
good, so.
All right. And, roads?
So on roads, over the past year, we've had 4 different companies, bidding. And we've come down to a couple different companies that have got the best price, and one was recommended by Dave Getty. Asphalt Services is ready to go for this next round, if it's okay for you guys. I've got the, proposals here. There's a whole stack here for anybody in the audience that wants to look at them. And, hand one to each board member. So it's just continuing on what we have been doing with the roads, but just a, brief of where this next batch would be Scarlet Drive. Back on Richmond Drive, there's a long patch and some other stuff. There's 3 spots on Bent Tree that is included in that. And then when you go back, is it Acorn, Scott? Acorn
And Eagles Nest.
in Eagles Nest, right there, on basically the back corner of Raintree where Forest meets down by the 11-acre lake. And then we've got the Dove Court cul-de-sac on this bid, which is a resident that had purchased some lots around Dove Court. It's our responsibility to go in and eventually pave Dove Court. So that's on there. Then there's several spots on Forest Road. There is one spot though that Jim with Asphalt Services recommend that we don't do this yet, because there's a ditch that needs to be relined with larger rock and mesh, because the road is actually pushing out the side. And once we line the rock in there, that'll help prevent the road from pushing out the side. Then I also found another culvert at the beginning of Forest that is half crushed and half full of rock. There's not much there, and that's just down from the firehouse on Forest. That little culvert down there, we need to address that as well. That is not on the bid yet, so that would probably be the excavating guy, if he's still
That's
up to
time
it.
and material though.
Yep, time and material for him to put a culvert in there before Asphalt Services come through on that one. So I don't think that one is on the bid either. So the 2 spots on Forest that would not be on this bid, and this bid's for 100 approximately, to do these roads that we just talked about. And that includes Dove Court, which Dove Court alone is a quarter of that.
Are these in any particular order? Do you have a, like, I appreciate you going through the list of where they all are. Could you give
I
us?
will send you a list, or
a
you
list
can have a photocopy of this map right here that shows the spots. And actually, the spots are in this bid.
Okay.
If you put your cheaters on and look at dots on this map, so it's
I don't
hard
need
to see
cheaters,
it.
but I can't see the dot.
I'll show you.
That's okay.
There's some on
Maybe
Forest.
going forward, or could you give us a list of those?
Yeah,
places?
absolutely.
That'd be wonderful. That'd be great. All right.
You only did your notice for 100.
That one's at 100. I mean, we've been doing repairs over the last, I think we've spent approximately 200, is that right, maybe this year already? And this would be another 100 for bringing it right around 300.
So this
This
is to replace road, like they.
Yeah, so the price, and Denny even just said this is a good price. So they're doing overlays at $2 a square foot, which is almost unheard of. The only reason why they're doing that is because we have full dig outs also, that are around, I think, $12 a foot. And that, includes the 8 inches of rock that goes in the 4 inches of asphalt over the top. So the, very competitive between KB, which did a lot of it this summer, and then this is Asphalt Services that can get to this next batch the fastest. So if we can get this approved, the money's already approved.
Right.
We just need the project approved.
Right.
If we can get that approved tonight, you guys are loyal.
They'll start on it.
They'll start on it and get this one wrapped up before winter hits.
You wanna make a motion?
So my motion, yeah, I'll make a motion to, go ahead and approve, this batch of road repairs.
With the list to follow.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those, or any discussion? Yes.
Just for those who may not know, the money of this was approved the last board, so this isn't an additional over that last approval, it's the detailed
But now we have
project behind
But
it.
now we have a set schedule or a list of, and we're gonna, whatever order, I'm sure they have an order that might be easier for them to move equipment here and there, but.
Well,
No,
yeah, that's what they do, I'm not gonna direct them on that, because I don't wanna
But
make.
if you'll just give
more
us a
charges,
list of places that
Absolutely.
are included, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? If not, those in favor of approving the motion? Show of hands. Those opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you, Dave. Rules?
Rules, we had a meeting on October 16th, and we kind of had an overview of the last year or so. We've been very busy with a lot of different changes in the community, and we kind of got away from the rules that were in place. So what we decided to do was come up with the top 5, and this wasn't necessarily a vote where people were calling in telling us that we discussed it amongst ourselves of complaints that have come in over the years from different people, and we rounded up the top 5. Mindy was nice enough to send out a Stan text for those of you that got it this afternoon. Those did, and I'll go through it real quick. On October 16th, the Rules Committee was held a meeting. The following in no particular order, the most complained about violations from residents. A motion was made and unanimously passed and addressed these rules. 1 is illegally parked vehicles, both boats and trailers. Second is violations regarding pets, most commonly dogs that run at large, unleashed, and off their property. Just recently, we've had 2 incidences where we've had dogs attack other dogs, and it's something that we really need to be paying attention to. 3 is the underage golf cart drivers. This is an issue that puts everyone at risk. Parents will be held responsible for the damage or injuries that result. 4th is curfew violations, and Hawaii time applies. This is more of a summer thing, but it goes throughout the year. A lot of people do work on Saturday and Sunday. I know everybody enjoys that part, but when it gets around 10 o'clock, you need to kind of. When it gets.
I.
There's your offender.
There's no excuse, Ken. Just take the pain, take the pain.
It's just at 10 o'clock, we need to be mindful of our The last one is unauthorized vehicles and range tree, cars, boats, trailers, golf carts, or any other vehicles without current stickers on them. So what we've decided to do is give everybody from now until December the 1st. So you have basically 6 weeks to get everything together, get your stuff fixed, whatever. On the 1st of December, if we have, the Rules Committee comes out and they find there's a violation, we will forward that to Mindy, and there'll be a 10-day letter sent out to the resident as a kindful reminder that you're in violation of one of our rules. At the end of the 10th day, will we recheck it? And if it's rechecked and it's found it's still not after 7 weeks, then they're gonna issue censors. I think it's important for our property values, for everybody in the community to make sure they're abiding by what the rules are. If you don't want the rules, we need to change the rules, and that's where you gotta get involved. But the rules have been set, we just need to start following them. That was the rules.
And security and technology?
Yeah, technology, we had a meeting
Was that
on.
the end of your rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as technology goes, we had a meeting on October the 8th. We discussed the building security within this building, and we made some changes. We changed locks, changed codes, we found that the alarm on the building and the locks, there were multiple people over the years that had different codes and stuff that were all in there. Had that alarm company come out, they reset all the codes on this. They stripped it down, so just the folks that are on the board currently and the people that are in the building during the day have access to come in. There's also the keys. We're gonna be moving the security portion to a different location within the building. And we also talked and discussed and have put in new maintenance hardware on the gates We've had multiple gates, as I'm sure the other guys can tell you. I put new hardware on it with Dan Oslinski over the weekend, and it seems like what we put on there is starting to work, where they're not falling off as rapid as they were. They still need to be checked, but we're just trying something different. We also had a long discussion about the flock cameras, and there had been some emails brought to my attention, sent to me, regarding the possibility of violation of the Fourth Amendment and the searches and seizures law in the Constitution regarding other lawsuits to run the country, and none of them have been adjudicated, so we don't have any precedent cases where somebody lost money or lost, but it's been brought forth. And what we don't want to do is be that area of Braintree or get a lawsuit and we're the ones paying something for it. We should have an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding with the Highway Patrol and or Jefferson County. So the way it works is the only camera that we currently have that's a flock camera is the front gate. So if you go through Ridge or you go through the back end, you're not on there. What it does is it records the license plates of the cars that come through here. And historically, if the Highway Patrol or Jefferson County are looking for a red Mazda, they can put it in the computer in a flock and it'll search. The state of Missouri has like 38,000 cameras they can look at throughout the state of Missouri. So they put it in there. They're not just coming in looking at our stuff. They're just blanketing it, trying to find the car, and it's trying to help them solve some of the crime. My main concern is I brought it up, and we had a motion to have our legal look at it. And if they're good with it, then we don't have a problem. We're under a contract for 1 more year, starting November the 24th, to be with the flock cameras. And I think the total is like $5,400 for the flock cameras to be installed when we do with them. The material's ours. We should be the ones that are maintaining the material that's brought in on these cameras. We just need to make sure that we have an MOU in place with the other 2 jurisdictions. So in case somebody looks into it and they file a lawsuit against the State Highway Patrol or Jefferson County, and it comes back on us because we're the one that are obtaining information and we're divulging it, we just don't want to be in a position where we're financially responsible. Hope that everybody has an understanding of what I just kind of talked kind of fast. Other than that, we had 5 different incidents within the community. We had 1 incident where a gentleman came in, he was arrested for DWI. We had another gentleman who was assaulted. He came through the gate, and another gentleman who was in here for some reason was mad, went up and punched him, and there was a fisticuffs that went on. Jefferson County had to come out, they arrested one of our residents. We had another incident of trespassing, and we've had 2 different incidents of gates that were broken. One was from a resident, he smashed the arm completely off and bent it, and I had to replace it. So, hopefully moving forward, that kind of stuff kind of goes to the wayside. But, you know, as far as the rest of it goes, we do have the camera that was put up, I think by the prior administration. They put it up down the boat. There was some complaining about the camera that was shooting across the lake onto people's houses, and they felt like they were being monitored because it was being streamlined on it. We've moved the camera. The camera's gonna be more focused towards the boat ramp as you're coming down, so as people are backing their boats in, we'll be able to see the stickers of the boats. And we're gonna end up putting a flag there, so we don't have to worry about that. As far as the cameras go, nobody on the board, including myself or any of the people that are doing the IT work, have access to the cameras on their phone. It's on the server in this other room, and if somebody calls up and complains and there's an issue, we have to come up here and they have to look at the camera for that time of day when it happened. So that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you. I think it's important that, we don't have to go into details, but that security is, we're really taking a look at some of the stuff that goes on around here, trying to, again, preserve your safety. Okay, unfinished business. I'm gonna give each of you some homework. I passed this out. This is our purchasing policy, and I think that this is probably as old as, maybe not as old as some of the people in the room, but this is me. I looked this up, and you know, this was last revised in 2007, and so, I mean, I think that I don't wanna discuss it right now, I'd like everybody to take it home, mark it up, see what you think, write ideas on it. It came to me this afternoon, maybe Mindy has other communities that have similar
Let me write myself.
policies, but, I mean, this almost handicaps us or handcuffs us when you have to get 3 bids for everything we do. I think there's times when that's good, like say, fish, you're buying fish. Let's make sure we're getting a reasonable price for fish, but I don't know that every time you repair a road, you have to go have 3 people come out and look at it. If you got a price, that's great, what you had prices, hey, it's $2 to overlay, it's $12 to fix it, how many copies do you want? That kind of stuff is great, we have vendors who won't even return our calls because we've asked them for prices so many times and they say, well, we're not interested in doing business with Raintree. And why? And they said, well, we never get any business from you. But things like the porta-johns and the fish and just, I can't think of enough examples right now, but the sand for the beach, those kind of things. Let's just make sure that we're getting competitive prices. But I'd like for everybody to take this home and look at it. It's available to all of you if you have suggestions, board@raintree.net. I'm gonna say that a lot. RTPOA.net. Okay, a couple other things real quick. Email communication guidelines. We need to all use our Raintree email. We can't use our personal emails. And the biggest reason for that is if there was ever a data breach and someone was using an email other than their Raintree given email, that's the first place we're gonna look. And I think we just need to move forward. I'm working on getting a new, placing a email and website administrator, and that should be done pretty quickly. Contacted a few people, and I think we're getting close to what we need there. While on that topic, I want to discuss that what I'd like to see done with the website. We have CPM that can harbor, if that's the right word, store all of these recordings, minutes from our meetings, anything that's private that has to do with our community. I'd like to see our website, our Raintree website, have pictures of how beautiful the place is, calendar of all the events, our covenants, our bylaws, the rules for ACC, the rules that Mike was just talking about, and that's about it. I don't think we need to do our laundry on the POA website. Let's not put all the meetings on there. I think, who's on what committee and who the chairs are, et cetera, are important, but that really should be an easily maintained website because we pay CPM to have all that stuff, and every one of you has access to it. I just don't know that the general public needs to have access. I don't know. Any thoughts from anybody? And we can, if somebody has thoughts out there, we'll talk about it at the open forum.
Can I just add to that, that another thing, because it's a new and different website and we're making changes to it, that'll be something communications will be involved in to help everybody find and realize where they can go to for what information. So between the two sites and where to find it.
Okay. Something that just came up, construction bond refunds. Historically, you can't get a permit to do a project if you're not up to date on your assessments, if you're not in good standing. However, thank you CPM, they've been able to find, we have people who have bought property in Raintree 2 and even 3 years ago and never reported it. So they're behind on assessments, but we may have approved a project on a home on their main lot, their primary lot. But now we found that they're way behind, way in the rears on assessments. Personally, I don't think we should be giving them their construction bond refunds. I think we should apply it to their assessments of the other properties, but I'd like to see the board discuss and even vote on that because that's not in our bylaws necessarily or covenants. Because this is something that's unique. I don't know if we've ever looked for it before, but CPM found a lot of properties that are owned by someone, but we were never told. And I think, I mean, and I don't know that anybody has to tell us, they should, but I don't know if there's any rule that says if they buy a piece of property, they have to tell us. But we have people that owe us lots of money.
Was it the county, Melissa?
I don't know, all I know is we have people that own properties that,
Usually
We've never
it's
even-
the seller who lets us know, because
Yeah.
they don't wanna keep getting.
well, I think that's how you found them, right? Is you send a assessment to someone and they say, we don't own this property any longer.
Right, but the ones we found today, it just happened to be two random approvals to refund their deposits. And while I was sitting there looking, I was like, oh, well, they own another lot and they owe 3 years assessments on it that they haven't paid.
Doesn't make sense to give them money back if they owe us.
And there was
money.
another one that didn't know quite that much, but they did have.
And we don't have to decide it today.
Ask the attorney.
You know,
Okay. All right,
If he says yes, do it.
absolutely.
well, we'll have to bring it back here and vote on it next month, but great ideas. And then, I also want to talk about the covenant change clarifications. Talked to a lot of people during the voting and they said, I'm not gonna vote for this, or I'm gonna vote, I don't understand this, and I just would like to have a discussion and make sure it's in the minutes, exactly what we think the covenant change, what the language says. It's really that, there's 2 or 3 that specifically that, and I don't know. Are those redlined in here?
All of the changes from this year's covenants are in red. So there are 4 places, 2A and 2I.
You guys should, do you have one here?
Yeah.
I'm taking Scott's.
So in 2A, what it says that there's one person ultimately responsible for damages done by, when building a house. It's a Latin term, respondent superior, which just means you're responsible for anybody who works for you, who you hire, whoever, whatever. And that's basically what this is modeled after, that there's a single deposit and a single responsible party. And that and how the money is directed, I don't wanna say revenue, but any money that we retain from the building of a home goes to our funds to help repair our roads, or maintain our roads.
But this is one of the changes. It used to go to the general fund, but with this change,
goes
it
to-
goes directly to the road, so it has to be allocated and put in, so you might wanna talk with Mindy that maybe we need a roads account, or somehow hold that.
Okay.
I've got a question about this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Speak up a little bit, please.
on the $8,500 deposit that is given by a new home builder, the prior covenant stated how much was we were to keep and how much was to be refunded, and now the new covenant doesn't state that. So we're gonna have to address that issue. If you guys want to, we can address it at our ACC meeting, and bring it to the board if you want.
Please, I think, in the year that I've been on the ACC, every refund has been the full amount. We're not utilizing this the way I think we should.
I agree.
Okay, and so ACC can discuss it and bring something back here
Okay.
next month, the following month. I don't think it's a burning platform, but I would like to get it done.
Then the reason it was taken out was because it was just, I think, being blanketly applied that if whatever the refund amount was, you got the refund back regardless of whether they adhered to the build requirements, regardless
Good
of
sense
the
of, good
damage.
sense of parameters. on
Well,
that.
Right, so, yeah, so.
The way we got it is when the house is built, they get a portion of it back, and then if there's a restaurant, they get another portion a year later, and it's just, Jim and I have been to the bank several times, Mindy and I, we spend hours every week going through this thing over the last year. We've been able to clean most of it up, but there's a couple of them still out there, but it'll soon be caught up. And then further at the end of 2A, It says, in addition, to the road cut repair, any road damage in front of the new house build is the responsibility of the property owner, ultimately, whether it was your contractor or not. And I think,
Okay, when does the responsibility end?
well,
So there we talked about that needed to be in ACC rules too, didn't we? We were thinking it should be between the time the project starts and the project ends.
Yeah, for their responsibility. And then when the inspector approves the project as being finished, then their responsibility is finished. I mean, that's one way of doing
so
it.
they're writing off on the road. The
Yeah.
inspector's writing off on the house and the road.
Yep.
Because we do that on the road cuts, but we wait a year to write off on the road cuts. I don't know if we wanna wait for a year.
You can't wait a year.
I don't think we should. That's why I think.
Cut settles.
That's pretty.
It should be at the end of the project is complete.
I think so too.
So I don't think that should be a motion, but I would like that to be an understanding. Does everyone agree with that it's 1 year, I mean, at the completion of construction? Or completion of the project, or approval of the project? Approval of the project.
And we'll put that in our ACC rules.
And then you can bring that, okay.
Final approval.
Yeah.
And
I think you gotta make sure the inspectors are taking video or pictures of the road before they approve the project.
We've already-
and then
That's something we
yeah.
implemented earlier this year. I'm glad that we're not making it part of the covenants, because again, we have a conflict between, if we change something in the rules, if we don't change it in the covenants, then it creates a problem for us. Then the other one is, this is, 3F, and,
Well, 2I has one small change, if you
Yeah,
just
that's-
wanna catch it going through.
oh, I'm sorry,
2I, at the top of page 7, is a,
I don't wear glasses, I can see.
top of page 7, the detached garage, excuse me, we increased the garage size maximum from 900 to 1,200. So that's, you just see this little 1,200 in red there, that's the only.
Okay. I would also ask ACC to provide some clarification on that, because on all of our other structures, that includes any overhang, and I'm told that it does not include the overhang on detached garages.
I believe it states it in our ACC rules that the overhang is not included in that.
Only on detached garages.
Yeah.
It's not that way on both houses.
No.
Okay. Can you clarify that?
We can clarify that too. Yeah, you bet.
And you're right, the biggie is 3F.
And then, what's that?
The biggie is 3F.
Yeah, and then 3F. So this, I had a number of community members tell me they were against this and voted against this because their interpretation was that their assessment would go up $100 consecutively, year after year after year. So if your assessment was $300 this year, then it becomes $400 next year, and every year after that, which is what I think it says. But there were enough community members who felt that it went from 300 to 400 to 500 to 600, and in 10 years they're going to be paying $1,000 more, which is not my understanding of it. But I'd like us to all agree that, on a clarification, that this means this was a one-time increase, but it continues annually.
Right.
The 2%.
Right.
No, this is the $100. The 2% is an addition.
Right.
A year.
So
This is
So I don't know what the
fixed.
proper term is, but it's
Right.
a one-time $100 or $50, and then that is the new.
That increase stays year after year. So this 2026 assessment will show the increase, 27, you're on the 2% cost of living.
There's probably some legal term that says that, but that's what I understand it to be, and I wanna make sure that we all agree on the board. Agree. What else?
Those are the 4.
That's it.
Okay, I think that's everything on my agenda. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
Not on that, but I have something on
Alright,
just unrelated.
I think we're done with this, but if somebody has something other new business?
When you first started tonight, I think it's important, the things that you said. And I think it's important that everybody on the board gets along. And I think that everybody new and old on the board, or just getting on the board, need to cooperate. I have pretty thick skin and I can do a lot if given the opportunity. But I think it's important for the people in the audience to understand when we took a pledge, what the pledge is, and I'm going to read it to you so you have an understanding of what you're holding me accountable for. As a member of the board of directors, I will be committed to fulfilling the mission and vision of the Raintree Plantation POA. I'll keep all confidential board information confidential. I'll focus my efforts on Raintree Plantation POA and not my personal goals. Serve on the committee and task force where required in leadership capacity. Respect and support the majority decisions of the board. Do not violate the trust of those elected or appointed me to the board or to those that I serve. Approach all board issues with an open mind, prepared to make the best decision for everyone involved. Refrain from using my service on this board for my own personal advantage or for the advantage of my friends and associates. Immediately disclose to any board any perceived or real conflict of interest as soon as I acknowledge of a potential conflict. Never exercise authority as a board member except when acting in the board meeting or when I'm delegated by the board or its president. Commit to ethical, businesslike, and lawful conduct, including proper use of authority and appropriate decorum when acting as a director. And consider myself a trustee of Raintree Plantation POA and do my best to ensure it is well maintained, financially secure, and always operating within the best interests of those that we serve. And that is my pledge. I signed it and I plan to do that. If for some reason somebody feels I'm not doing that, I would expect you to go to Kent and explain to him that either I'm doing something inappropriate, I'm not acting the way I should be. And if it's a rise of that and the people here want me off the board, then that's the way we go. I want to make sure that Raintree is at its fullest impact and we're going in the right direction. And I can't fight other people if they don't want to cooperate. So I just want to make sure everybody here knows we're in it to win it. We've got to change. We can't keep fighting amongst one another. Everybody on this board has something to bring, and everybody on this board is here for that reason. And I just want to make sure that everybody in the community knows we do sign a pledge when you take the oath. So everybody's understanding that.
I have something, Ken.
Thank you.
I think we should consider having the honor guard put forth on Veterans Day, because the individual that does it lives here in Raintree. It costs nothing, but it's a expression that we're honoring our veterans, and I know there's a lot of veterans in here, so I think we should do that.
I'd be up for that. Does that require an action from us, a motion or anything?
It would be best if we had a motion.
Yeah, we didn't close the meeting yet. We could make that motion.
I move that we present color guard for the Veterans Day, and I will get in touch with the individual that does it.
Okay, second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion carries. Mike, I appreciate what you said. It reminds me of a saying that says, those who want you to win will help you win. And I think we need to win as a community. We have such a great place here. This is such a great place. All right, if nothing else to discuss,
Motion to
I'll take
adjourn.
a motion.
A second.
I will entertain. We'll move to an open forum, and I'm gonna ask, I know people are gonna have questions, but Mindy is gonna, does anybody have a question that's specific for CPM or Mindy? But I don't wanna have a bunch or have them real long, because she does have quite a commute. Go ahead.
Linda Camden, Mindy Mindy, thank you for being here. You said a lot of things of what CPM does, the financial accounting, that kind of thing. What I have found in the past year, given that, last year ago, when we outsourced office and the retirement of the maintenance, we were outsourcing maintenance as well. I think people got confused and thought CPM is doing all of that. The office and the maintenance, I think it's also confusing to people because it's CPM property management. So people think property, oh, the gate's down, that's CPM's fault. Can you clarify the difference between the two? Most of us that come to the monthly meetings get it, but I think a lot of people don't understand.
Well, we do have a maintenance department that can service when they're called upon, but yes, you have 3 maintenance people that Scott oversees and works with that I think do.
They're not CPM people, those
No,
are people that the POA.
They're independent contractors. Yes, independent contractors. They turn in a timesheet every week or 2. We cut the checks for them, but Scott oversees them, but they're not, we don't have any CPM personnel on the grounds or doing lawn mowing, or we don't do that type of service anyway. But
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yes.
Joe,
Yes,
you say your name.
my main problem with CPM is that I cannot come up here and pay my assessment. I have to mail it. Hopefully it gets to you people. I don't see why I can't pay it right here. There's no reason why we can't.
As a collective, I believe the board and CPM together, the reason, number one, your dues are due in the summer, when the line is already out the door for people wanting stickers and tags, and the office is extremely busy. For her to all of those individual checks, if we took them here, have to be ran one at a time through a check scanner. They have to have everybody's account number wrote on them. I'm just saying, it would take an inordinate amount of time.
You can forward them. You can forward them to Arizona.
We're not gonna do that because you just don't know if a whole envelope full of checks is gonna get lost.
Or if something happens in the mail, we have a check coming from Midwest Bank. Jim, thank you, Jim's already been to the bank twice to help to close our account at Midwest. And we asked them if they could just mail the check, and they said, no way. They do not want to put that check in the mail, that Jim has to come and get it. And
I feel the same way about my check.
What?
I feel the same way about my check. How do I know it's gonna get there?
Well, did you mail a car payment or insurance or any of those things? It's just kind of along those same lines. We all know the mail service is not what it used to be. Hopefully it's going to get better over the next year, but that is the reason. It's just too much for one person to try to process all of those and get it done correctly. Right now, they all go to a lockbox, which is at the bank, and they have scanners, and every night in the middle of the night, they send us a report of all the payments that came in, and it gets uploaded into our system, so the next day, we have that information.
Haley's in there giving out codes for construction. Haley's selling stickers. Haley's doing all these other things. And she knows how to do those things. I personally don't. I doubt anybody at this table knows how to do those. We need to have Haley doing the things that she knows how to do and trained to do. And we'll put our own checks in the mail or pay by credit card.
You can pay online, right? I mean, instead of mailing a check.
You can.
Yes, that's what I do.
Okay.
If we have their account info, don't they get an email back when they mail a check in?
Got the
They get
email.
something back that says, we got your check.
She's saying yes,
Yep.
so
Say yes.
that's kind of outside of my area of expertise.
Got an email within 2
Any-
weeks. That never happened before.
Any other questions for CPM or for Mindy specifically? Because I'd like to see her get on the road. There's lots of deer.
Mindy, are you gonna be here at every meeting, or was this just a one and done?
I'll be here at more. I don't know if I'll be here at every single one,
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
but
Then I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you.
No, I can't, I won't be here Thursday because I was here all day today.
See you next Thursday.
See you next.
See you next Thursday. Okay.
Safe travels.
Who else has, thank you, Mindy.
And Jody knows.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions, open forum. Other statements, is your hand up?
Mine, yes, but I'd like others to
There's
go
one
first.
there.
Where?
Already got twice.
Jerry G? Can you stand up and say your name, please?
Jerry Hicks. I was wondering with the, if architect committee knows about a foundation on Jean Reed. It's on a lot, a separate lot. It's on a lot by itself. And I don't know what kind of foundation it is, but they park their cars on it. It's,
I don't have the paperwork in front of me.
It's Christie Killen's house.
But Denny, I can kinda answer that, you know.
Go ahead, Ken.
So yeah, Jerry, one day I just decided that I was just gonna drive around the subdivision to see what was going on. Yeah, and I drove past that one, so I know the exact house that you're, and I believe, not sure, that there was gonna be a garage at one time. But I don't know, I never talked to the owner or anything, but I can go by there and check it out and talk to the people.
Well,
I don't know.
Or do you know who we're talking
yeah,
about?
the people who own that house and own that lot next to it bought it like that. They had never finished the garage, so.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes,
Okay.
so, and the people who bought it, that's why they have it there. I was trying to see if I can see who owns it, but yes, that's been there like that, and they just,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know when they got it approved, but it was
Yeah.
long before us.
Yeah.
Long
Well,
before
the
me.
project, this project was approved, it just never finished.
And, yes, cause it's just a foundation and a driveway.
it's not even a driveway.
It's not, yeah, it's not even a driveway, and it's not even, it's just footings. That's really not, I don't even, is there a floor for it?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, there's a
it's
floor for it there, okay. Well, if they're parking on it.
I don't know that there's a lot we can do about that, Jerry G. It's kinda like the people
Yeah,
who have
it's all one
above
lot.
ground
It's-
LP tanks, you know, I mean, they're grandfathered in and.
Yeah,
I mean,
But if they were supposed to build something there that was approved by the architect committee, that should have been.
Apparently that was
Well,
about 15 years
Like
ago.
what they're saying was a decade or more.
It was like two
Yes,
homeowners ago.
but the people
But
who
if-
own the
at
house
that
now
time,
didn't do
was
it.
still the same for the architect
I know the
committee. You had
people
certain
own it.
amount of time to
Chris,
get
you know,
the building.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Even prior, even if, as you go back, it's supposed to be followed up by the architect committee or
It's not
whoever
even
does
on our
the
records
rulings.
anymore.
Yeah,
And back then, it was
So-
also the same thing, that you had to have it done, that your building.
so we've
permits
spent
were
quite a bit of
certain
time over the last year rewriting the entire ACC manual. It's not ready for publish yet, but we're redoing it completely, and again, we wanna see what happens with the covenants and bylaws, because there's a lot of things that just don't jive. But there's a lot of, you know, in every one of our projects we approve are supposed to be done in a defined time period, and this doesn't happen a whole lot. So maybe we need to redefine that time period or what, I'm not sure, but I don't know that we can hold somebody hostage for buying a house that has an unfinished project, or buying a lot that has an unfinished project. I mean, I wish it wasn't there, but I think, I don't know what else we would do.
Andy Huber, Easy Street. Mike, there's a typo on your quiet time. It goes from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then you have 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that 6 should be a 7, if I'm not. Does that make sense? You have a dead hour there. Yeah, it should be 10 to 7, 7 to 10.
That was one of the committee members.
There you go, there you go.
Somebody else's fault.
Denny, is that the correct date on the ACC? I thought it was the 11th. I thought it was gonna be on Veterans Day because I was waiting for a
It's always
turkey.
been the first Tuesday.
Oh, okay, I was waiting for a turkey meal anyway. Yeah, good.
I'll bring that to you.
There you go. Last one, Jim, I have the only special needs color guard in the whole United States. We would be honored to work with you, work next to an honor guard. We do this free of charge. If anybody is interested, has anything, come see me, so.
Harold Rosa, I just wanted to ask, no one's more happy about this meeting than me, because I heard my Harold Rosa. Just wanted to make sure, yeah, like I said, nobody's more happy than me about this meeting than I heard my road mentioned. But, yeah, it was something I've been dealing with for 11 years, so I'm happy. But I did hear you guys say you were gonna make a list where people could go and see. Is that gonna be for all of us, or is that just for you guys? And then also, where can we tell what's getting overlaid and what's actually getting fixed?
I don't see a reason why we can't.
You know what I'm
share that
saying?
list.
Just for,
So there's a proposal right here if anybody wants one.
yeah,
But,
fantastic. I'll grab
and
one.
and Dave said he would come up with a list of different areas and stuff, but, you know, you can't hold him to it exactly, like it's gonna be from this address to that address. And if the vendor comes and says, I can't do that road today, but I can do this one here, Dave, do you want me to go home or go ahead and do this other road?
Yeah.
But he'll have a list of things that are in the next group of batch of projects.
Hey, I know it's not gonna be 11 more years. So
No, you're gonna get
It's gonna be before snow flies.
You
As
will.
long as everything's good.
Lisa? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. Lisa, I saw it. Lisa first.
Yeah, my name is Lisa Broxman. I received a message from Stan today, and I just wanted a definition from the board, what you consider, a car that's unauthorized without a sticker in Main Street. What does that mean?
If it's like a derelict car that's parked where it's not supposed to park, I mean, we don't require stickers right now. Stickers aren't required in Braintree except to park at like the beach or the pavilion or the boat ramp, et cetera. So if we find one that's parked there and it doesn't have a hang tag or a sticker or the appropriate identification, then it's a violation.
So it's only at the boat ramp, only at the beach?
Well, no, it could be other places too, but not in front of your house, if that's what you're asking.
That's what I wanted to make.
No, not in front of your house.
Okay.
I kind of read between the lines there.
Thank you.
It has to be operated.
It has to be operational though, you
It's gotta
can't,
be current registered.
you can't park a car there and not have license plates or not have you can't, derelict cars are not gonna be allowed any longer. If Mindy drives around and sees the same car a lot of time, we're just gonna say, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna inquire first. Wait, I thought Tilly had her.
That was my question about the stickers. Are we gonna require stickers in the future maybe, or?
I don't know,
Up for discussion.
we have a million other things to deal with before
Yes.
that, but I don't know that, I think the process we have now where you have to have a sticker or a hang tag to park at the beach or whatnot, works pretty darn good. Because that's where there's limited parking. There's not really limited parking at your house or my house or anywhere else, so I don't know that there's an advantage to having stickers, but that's something we'll look at, but it's way down on the list for us.
Yes, could you update us on the status of the beaches, shower and the ramp that was built this last summer and it's near the end of the year?
Well, they put the steps got put in last week, so it's finished and it's plumbed for a wash station, but that didn't get finished, and the beach, or the restroom got put on the side burner for right now, but we could do it, but it's about $45,000 right now, plus some plumbing. And it just sort of got sidetracked. We're trying to do some roads and some other stuff.
Do you think we'll have it ready for next spring?
Well, we'll have to get the board on board and talk about it. I'm ready to do it, but we gotta get everybody else on board for it.
Have to decide if that's the best place.
I mean, it's a good heart community.
Start a project, but it never gets finished.
No, that wasn't started. The only thing that was started was the patio with the picnic tables and the steps.
Well,
Yeah, that's gone. There's steps there. John fixed his problem.
Yeah, but Scott, you got stuff you got the pump on order or something?
No, we never did order it.
Oh, you never did
No,
order it? Yes.
No, but the next beach, I'll show you what you can use to make it. It's all plumbed.
Yeah.
The
okay.
plumbing and everything's in.
Yeah.
You just need to finish it up.
I mean,
But nobody started on the bathroom. I had a lady donate her time and made prints. We got bids. We got lots of bids on that. And if we want to go forward with it, it'd be a good community project.
Oh, yeah.
It'll save a little bit of money to get rid of the nasty thing. It'll give us a little pavilion with a couple picnic tables over there to get out of if you got a storm or get in the shade. For that little bit of investment, and we've got hang tag money. I don't know how much. When everybody buys a hang tag, that money goes to lakes and beaches for them to spend into a separate, not an account, but just gives that department permission to spend that money.
I saw another hand over here. Jerry Jean?
My next question I had was, Dave, you were talking about the roads and you were talking about a cul-de-sac that is gonna be done. Somebody bought 4 lots on there.
Yeah, so
Are there homes on there? Are they putting homes on there? or-
Dove Court built a house at the end. So Dove Court, the guy bought almost 6 lots, 5 lots at this point, surrounding that cul-de-sac, but we still owe him Dove Court. That was actually a Raintree Road, so we do have to pay them.
Okay, well, I understand. I thought that I was under the understanding, and I know we're going back, way back again, but, I thought that they didn't do the construction on the road until somebody actually turned in and got approved for, is that right?
The house is there.
Construction. Oh, there is one
You
there?
you have 1 year to, in the covenants, we have 1 year to pave a road when somebody builds a home.
Right.
An unpaved road.
Right.
So it's listed in it, that's part of his list.
Okay, I just was wondering, I just heard you say before, you bought them 7 lots.
Sherry?
Yeah, Sherry Clark, this is addressed to, the roads. Back in June, we asked what was going on with Redwood. And because it's actually closed to local traffic, you have to go around to Sassafras, which is also really bad.
So Redwood, we have to decide if that culvert that is in front of his house is coming out to stay out. If he wants to replace it, repair it, and it stays in. But there's a breach, appears to be a breach, we still gotta finalize that. But that road's been fixed 3 times and the same exact thing happens again. So that's why that project is not going to move forward until we have a solution. So hopefully it'll be the last time that road is repaired. Now, we should have the money to do that this year. If everybody thinks that's the next project to do, then we could concentrate on that one as long as the whole subdivision, is ready for that road to reopen, which I think they are. It's been closed for over a year.
I have a roads question.
Okay.
The question is just,
No.
have we ever thought about, like the least traveled roads where there's 1 or 2 homes that we just chip and seal them?
So
Is that cheaper? I don't know.
we can get bids for that, but that's also up to the board. Do we want to piece that in and out, which it's up to everybody too. It's not a bad idea. But that's for everybody to decide.
You'll have to educate me, because I don't know.
It's chip and seal is a cheaper, but it's
I know
not
it's-
asphalt.
I know
It's
it's a mess to
That's
put
what
down.
some of your roads now, chip and seal.
What?
I said, that's what some of your roads now is chip and seal.
Well, I think at one time it was applied over and then more asphalt applied on top of that.
Yeah,
Then you can go
combination.
more of that. So there is chip and seal as one of a layer in there for sure.
That's what it was out here all.
Okay.
All
Since we're talking so much about roads, I just noticed that we have so much traffic on Highway B, and these big old trucks are coming in, barely making the turn here to get into our entrance. We think we need to consider having another place to come in for construction. And I think we should open up that one there by the.
The one on Forest
Yeah,
Drive.
because it's just tearing up our entrance, it's dangerous, and, it's just getting overwhelming.
I think that's one of those things that, when somebody says, how come we don't use Forest Drive, and it's one of those, well, that's because that's the way we've always done it. So I think we're happy to take a look at that and see if it's reasonable. I don't know how long the road is over there.
We open it up.
Well, there is a couple spots in Forest that are tore up really bad right now. In this bid addresses 3 or 4 of the 5 or 6. There's 2 there that needs ditch work first before that, and it's real close to that road that's coming in on the right-hand side if you're going back on Forest. You'll see it. And it's up on the crest of a hill where the water kind of sits. So we gotta figure out that ditch has gotta be addressed and firmed up. And there also may have to be grading done to relieve that water faster, which we gotta be very careful careful about that because we have utilities in those ditches. So again, we'll have to figure out, you know, we may have to pay somebody to come out and hand dig to find those utilities. We don't want that on our maintenance guys to jeopardize the utility.
So that's been.
For their safety as well.
When we moved here, I thought, well, how come all the moving truck, all the, construction trucks and everything have to use the back entrance? And, I mean, that's what I heard, well, that's the way it's always been. So I don't know, if you consider where, I don't know, somebody who's like where Dave Bowden lives, if he has something done on his house, that like his driveway poured or something, the concrete truck has to go clear to the back gate and come all the way around Vista to come to Dave's house, which you can almost see from here. And I've always wondered about that, but, and it's something we'll look at. I'm not sure if that's when it will happen, but.
Well, even the entrance on Highway BB would be greatly, I know it's gonna be hard, because there's not very much.
It's something we'll consider.
It'd be something.
It's something. Give it nice.
Thanks, Beth Daniels. I have two clarifying questions. You mentioned, you know how the maintenance crew trimmed some of the trees. Do we need to fill out a work request to ask them to come pick those back up? Is that?
Well, the machine's been broken, we just got it back. It was 5
Can we
weeks.
let her finish her question?
We've been fighting it for 5 weeks and it's been a K&K. And we got it back this afternoon, so along Ridge Road, wherever you see stuff that was cut, they're gonna come back and do it. Our machine broke.
Okay, so I won't.
That's, after the deer tomorrow morning, they're going straight to that.
Scott came in, smiled like the Cheshire Cat, said, we got it back.
Okay,
It's chipper today.
Good, thank you. My second question is the clarification that you said on because we're building a home on Waterford right now, so I'm concerned about the language that says, we need to fix the road. When I saw that passed, I thought it was pretty vague to show, well, how far? Like just in front of my house, the whole street, the whole block?
So what we've been doing is the ACC and the inspector that's assigned your house usually comes and takes photographs of the road in front of your house. That's why it's not defined exactly well, we're gonna hold you hostage, but it's pretty easy to tell when a construction vehicle or if they put out the feet, whatever you call those, that they really tear up the road sometimes, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay, so I can pretty much see them in front of my house. Yeah, okay, thanks.
And
I should ask.
the most abuse on our roads.
Trash truck.
Well, that too, but
what is it?
When it rains in April and it just saturates everything, and then the first overloaded truck that comes in, it can't hold up to it. I mean, it's common sense kind of. If you have rain and rain and rain, and everything is saturated, it doesn't take much to destroy these roads. And that's partially because the roads were not put in correctly. From day one, there's a lot of repairs and a lot of stuff. Most of the digging, when repairing we're doing, you have about half the base under there that you should. So it's just, we have to be very cautious around April when these trucks, and monitor the damage of as the subdivision itself also. If you guys see something just totally get destroyed, please email the board and let us know where that happened if you see it.
Thank you, Dave. All right, Linda?
Thank you. Couple suggestions. Dave, it sounds like you, and I'm not sure who else is chair of roads. When you guys are fixing, could you consider taking a picture of it and then tell us the cost of it, and maybe it can go under the roundup? I find a lot of people have no clue how much money it takes to fix like this, So if you give us an idea, I think that's helpful. The vehicle stickers and the rules that said that we're gonna start enforcing those, Deb, maybe in a roundup, refresh us of what is needed when, like that question about the vehicle stickers.
I don't know the answer to that yet, but.
Right, but if you would tell us in the roundup, then we can all know that you only need vehicle stickers if you plan to park at the beach, if that's still the rule. So that's and the ramp. So that's a suggestion. Mike, thanks for reading the Code of Ethics and telling us about that. A suggestion there would be, does everybody sign one every year? Not just when you come on, but every year. That would be a suggestion. And what time is the Lakes and Beaches meeting, please? You said
6 o'clock.
6 6 o'clock. Thank you.
That's it.
Betsy Harlan. I just wanted to say, if you do decide to open the forest gate for construction traffic, I want you to keep in mind that none of you are gonna see those trucks that come in through there. Because just 2 weeks ago, there was someone doing construction on Acorn, and they had about 10 to 15 dump trucks come barreling in through there. They were going at least 50 miles an hour down Forest Drive. It was on a Thursday. I had put my trash can out for the trash can. My neighbor was coming down the street one way. The dump truck was going the other way at 50 miles an hour. He hit my trash can full on, let it fly up in the air, fall down on the ground, continued on over to Acorn. My neighbor turned around, went over there, and said something to him, and he just smiled.
I'm sorry that happened.
Well, how did they get in?
Well, there'll be a lot of thought going to whether or not we open it.
Yeah, if you open it, you need to have somebody
Okay.
checking on how fast.
There'll be a lot of thought. Bob?
Yeah, Robert Harlan. I had a report I was gonna make on spillway, but I think I'll save it for the 23rd, might be best. But I have a video on next door, that I suggest, that the board, take a look at. It shows, the spillway, the video was taken November 5th, 2024. The spillway is at full capacity, but in the morning hours, there's a flash flood over the spillway.
Yeah.
The embankment, and it shows debris. So that, but it would do, a video is worth 1,000 words.
Sure.
It's on next door.
I think Mike said he's
Now.
talking to the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I got a couple more suggestions. On Plantation Drive, from the entrance to the back gate, you got the cracks, the concrete streets, they should all be sealed. I'm not a very big fan of that asphalt in the bag. You guys should do something else. Okay?
Okay.
That's a joke. And then I got another suggestion. We need maintenance, we need the upkeep, but we also need to, sometimes, I don't know what I'm trying to say. We have behind the front entrance, the Column Drive, because I think Mike said something a couple weeks ago, that Column Drive needs to be updated. The streets are narrow, behind the front entrance. On Column Drive.
Narrow?
The streets are narrow. That should all be taken out. The medium should be removed.
Okay.
I know it's a bit long range project,
Yeah, we have to.
but the
I think there's
medium
a lot
needs
of
to
other
be,
things.
all those bushes and the medium all need to be removed. Maybe put a sidewalk down the center to the, what's that?
Okay.
The gazebo.
Okay.
And then the roads,
All right, well,
So anyway,
that's fine. You can, if you have an idea like that, it's great, submit it.
now, I got another off the wall suggestion. I know you guys probably want to get out of here. Does Raintree have a flag?
A flag?
Yeah. Does Raintree have a flag?
It's
No, I'm not talking about it.
A rain tree.
Raintree flag.
Raintree flag.
Yeah, does Raintree have a Raintree flag?
I don't know.
Well, it's off the wall. Anyway, maybe you can have some children design it.
All right, please, guys, just tolerate this for a few more minutes. We'll just speak. Let's let people speak and then we'll be done. Go ahead.
Andy Huber again. 3 things. If you want a flag, contact me. I like the idea of submitting artwork. That'd be great. I deal with
You mean a United States flag or?
No, I can get you any kind of flag. I can get you a custom flag. I can get you a United States Marine
That'd be
flag.
nice for the children.
Yeah,
And Raintree can
design one, and we can put it up there and get the right size
Okay.
flag. I'm all about flags.
All right.
2 things. would we go to the county, or is this a Raintree thing about possibly putting a stoplight out here?
No, no way. There's not enough room to stop.
What do you mean there's not enough room?
The trucks coming down this highway could never stop.
Yeah, they will.
If you have people stopped at that stoplight.
They'll stop, guaranteed.
Yeah, they'll stop when they hit somebody.
No,
Okay.
I had the same issue in
This is
Imperial.
outside of the scope of.
So, and then, Mike, on the, and this has always been brought up too, I've only been here a year. Who's gonna maintain, or who's going to enforce the speed limits? Who's gonna enforce the overweight trucks?
Well, I
How
think
is that gonna be
That's gonna
addressed?
take the community, we're gonna have to band together. We are not police.
Right.
We're not ambulance drivers. If you see something that's not right, please video it, like Scott said, a video is worth 1,000 words, take pictures of it, video, don't engage anybody. We don't want anybody to, what? Yeah, we don't want you to engage anybody and start getting on them, but just take a video or something, send it to us, and the legal department will.
Because I know we had talked about having county come out here too.
They are here a lot. They have quite a presence.
Yeah. They haven't been on Easy Street.
We see them more and more.
They're not gonna enforce the speed limit.
Right, we've had that discussion before, they cannot issue tickets, but having their force out here in presence,
It
I
has
think.
helped. I think it's helped. Anyways.
Two more things, questions. One is, Mike, thanks for reading that, so the people in the audience know exactly what you are all signing and what you're, what you're doing for us. The other thing on that, my personal feeling is, because I know there's people that have been on the board that don't know covenants, they don't know rules, they don't know any of that stuff. Can't we add something on there, maybe you can check with the lawyer, stating that you have, when you sign that, if there's a section on there for signing that you have reviewed.
I believe it's on there. I believe you testified that you have read the covenants and bylaws.
Oh, that is on there?
I believe so.
I didn't know that was on there. Okay, my other question was, last year we had, and Jim McClung knows about this, I've talked with him about it. We had people we've got a lot of elderly people out here that sometimes they need help, they can't get their prescriptions, or, maybe they just need you to pick something up at the store.
Okay.
I know we have a couple people out here that are doing some of that. I had put a letter together so that.
What's your question? Yeah, so.
I just want to know where it's at. I don't know.
840.
If I want to know if we're going to continue to go ahead on that, or, because I offered to do it, that I would have people that could go help people. And
Can you send an email to board?
Jim has it.
RTPOA.net.
Jim has it.
Oh, okay, I'll talk to him. Okay. Anybody else have any questions that we?
Just a quick one. Out in front here, anybody that goes towards Highway 30 on B, you can't miss that big crack in the street out there. Is that the county responsibility,
highway.
or is that ours?
Highway department.
There's
There's a big crack right along the road when you turn right. It's about an 8-inch drop off.
That's not our property. Sorry.
It's a state.
State.
Who would you contact?
Missouri Highway.
Station up here, or?
I think it's the DeSoto unit that takes care of us.
Any other questions for the board? If not, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, thank you again for coming to the meeting. We appreciate it.